Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by my Kickstarter project. I'm Robbie, and so I'm the one behind this design project. And this project is to create a development board to help develop projects on a MSP 430F 5 and 6 series processor or microcontroller line. They're from Texas Instruments, and they're the most powerful MSP 430s that they offer. I'm doing this because I was working on a USB-based product with one of these microcontrollers, and I wanted a platform to develop my firmware and some of my software and communication links, and I didn't want to spin a board for the entire project because there's just too many things to try to design at one time. So you want to break the design process up into groups and start at the most basic first so that you have a great foundation every time you take a step forward in your design project. And so I started working on this because of a product that I'm working on that's going to be a USB-based data recorder, and I need a big processor with a lot of pins and whatnots. And I couldn't find much online to really fit my needs, so I decided I'm just going to design my own. And so this will work out really well in that I'm designing this to be extremely versatile and expandable to fit any custom application that needs a large processor or a large microcontroller like this. Because what you want to do is develop, like I said, your firmware and some of your basic stuff on a platform that's easy to debug, cheap, and only has a few things on it, so that you only have a few bugs to work through before you take your next step. And then once you get those solved, you know that's good, and you have a good foundation to go forward to the next part of your design. And so I couldn't find much that was very expandable, and I decided to create my own. And when I came across Kickstarter, I thought this might be an interesting project to put up online for people who are interested in electronics and maybe would like to see an entire design process through, and how you go from conceptual design all the way through development, debugging, fabrication, and eventually production of hardware. And so when I say production of hardware, I really mean fabrication of hardware units, not mass production, unless there's that much interest. But that's what this project is. This project is a 60-day running project that will go from design, development, and all the way through fabrication, and I'll be able to explain and answer questions regarding what I did, why, part selection, BOM development, schematic capture, circuit board layout, testing, debugging, and whatnot. And at the end of this, there'll be an actual hardware deliverable, a PCB, that will be this development board that I'm going to be designing. So if there's any interest, I set up the goals so that you can just be a part of the updates, and you can follow through the design process, getting updates from me on a regular basis to see how things are going and maybe what I do in what order and why, and there's some interaction there. You can also get the design files. You can go to all BOM, schematic capture, circuit board layout, any kind of block diagrams and write-ups that I do to kind of help along the design process, or as a part, like a bill of materials through the design process, something that you'd want to use and incorporate into technical development that you do. That is also a deliverable. There's another deliverable where if you just want to be a part of the whole design and get a souvenir. The third deliverable, you can have access to all the comments, updates, all my design files, and communicate with me, as well as get a blank PCB kind of as a little souvenir. And then the last one is that you get a fully built unit, and that fully built unit, you will have seen the whole design process. Even though you haven't gone through every detail yourself, you will see really the big picture in engineering, design, and development. And so I hope there's some interest out there. And again, just to go over the hardware that we're going to be developing is basically a large 100-pin LQFP MSP 430 type microcontroller development board that allows you to blink some LEDs. It's got USB capabilities, and it's going to have two large expansion headers that will allow you to spin your own custom card with sensors and other integrated circuits, flash chips, op amps, whatever, and just plug it right in, and now you've got a board stack with an extremely powerful microcontroller to allow you to develop any kind of firmware you need for your custom application that's realized by that plug-in card that you've designed with all of your specific integrated circuits. And so if there's a lot of interest here, I can do a follow-on project for what I'm really working on, and make a part 2 where I go through and use this development board now with a custom card for my application, and you can see the whole board stack. But this project is just for the development board, and it's going to be based around the MSP430F 5 and 6 series processors, and it's going to have a few basic components, USB capability, and 2 large expandable expansion headers that will allow you to plug in your own card that you would spin for your custom applications. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope to be in touch with you pretty soon through this whole design and development process. Send me any questions you have, and thanks again.